Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome over here to the Dascar Martini Endurance Series Season number 4 2017 here on Zico Sports. We are here back again at the Isle of Man for race number 2, in which we will see the second half of the drivers on track. So indeed, race 1 already uploaded, and well, I gotta say it was a pretty good race. Sometimes, well, not too interesting, but overall I think there was plenty of action for you guys to enjoy. Eventually it was only 7 of 21 drivers to finish the race, so that's not a whole lot, and of those 7, pretty much one was 2 laps down, so only 6 drivers on the lead lap. Pretty big gaps. Eventually it was the number 2 car of Brandon Thomas who won the race after well, pretty much all the other leaders just, well, failing to make it to the finish. With the 44 of Mitch Bretsch in second, and the last podium spot going to Jim Pinter. Now, for you guys, because we got over here another set of 21 drivers, pretty much everybody who has not been in race number 1 is in this race. That means that everybody who is in an even position in points is in this race. Now I'm going to go through the starting grid in a few moments and explain who is in the race. For the rest of the introduction I did yesterday, I did in race number 1. I'm not going to do that anymore. So please, if you are interested in the introduction and all, well, pretty much like the ordinary stuff with the recap on vacation, the Nordschleife race, penalties, and the point standings and all that kind of stuff. I refer back to that race number 1 introduction. It's just the first part of the race, so I'm not going to do that this race. So pretty much there are 2 other things which I also discussed in that race, which might be interesting to you, and those are one is the future of me on YouTube and what my plans are. Quick summary: I'm going to change a couple of things with the series I'm doing. But the main thing is I want to do some more different stuff, some more different gameplay videos, and maybe even start doing live streams. Now I'm not sure, once again, if that is going to work out. I don't know. I just have to see. I downloaded some software and I still haven't tested it out yet. So will be a process in which I'll probably be doing in the next few weeks, next to the Dascar stuff I'm doing. Another thing which I discussed was the reason I think that there are so many complaints on the current NASCAR Monster Energy Cup series and the format of everything, and I think that's mainly due to the lack of diversity in the racetracks they go to. Like, most of the tracks they go to are just 1.5 mile ovals, and which don't always provide the best races. So if you want to know more about those 2 subjects, please look back at race number 1. I will put in the description at what times I'm start to discuss those things. I think the first part, like my future on YouTube, is about 30 minutes or something into the race, and the other thing is around 1 hour and 10 minutes into the race. So add 10 minutes to that with the introduction, and well, I don't know, that's still going to change, but I will change the times that I've discussed those things. I will put it in the description, please, if I don't forget. If I do forget, let me know in the comments below. So there's only one other thing from the introduction which I do want to say, and that is that we got our wildcard driver in this car, as announced yesterday already. Finally, somebody took the wildcard car, and that's the first time ever, and that one driver is over here, Marcus Succi. He's a second driver from Jay Jefferson, who was in yesterday's race, and today he's going to make his debut over here at the Isle of Man. Now, that's one of the most challenging debuts you can ever wish for, so we wish Marcus all the best of luck. Pretty much, on the other hand, every single driver in this field is a rookie over here, because we have never been here before with the Dascar Martini Endurance Series, let alone any other Dascar series. So it's the first time over here, and well, as said, Mark Succi, we wish him the best of luck. He's from Sweden and he's currently a Dascar KLM series driver, so maybe we'll see him move up to the Dascar Regional Pro Cup series, or maybe even the Dascar Phillips Cup series as well, somewhere in the future. So we're going to start this race. If I forgot anything, I will do it throughout the race. One disclaimer is that I will have, well, the timing of me doing this race is a little bit off. Currently it's 5:45 in the evening. That means that I will be having dinner, well, in 10 minutes now. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to turn down the volume a little bit because these car noises are really, really loud. So I apologize for that. The reason is because, well, busyness, and I didn't really have a lot of time to do this race, and every time I want to do it, something comes in between. So I just decided to then do it now and then finish it then after dinner. So don't worry about it. You will probably not even notice it at all. It's just a disclaimer. So, and I won't bother you, hopefully. So we're going to start this race. We got the 09 car of Aiden Thomas on the pole, and he's starting right next to the number 20 car of John Arndt. Few drivers race have had a shit ton of bad luck this whole season. John Arndt in pretty much both races did very well, but then crashed out. And well, Aiden Thomas also. I think Aiden Thomas actually hasn't done. He also hasn't finished in both races, I believe. So, well, one thing is for sure: this racetrack is going to be nuts. It is the Isle of Man, ladies and gentlemen, the most dangerous racetrack in the world, even more crazy than the Nürburgring Nordschleife. And we're underway with race number 2 over here in the Dascar Martini Endurance Series. It's everybody who's even in points, and I haven't even done a, how do you call it? Damn it, I forgot to do the starting grid video. Well, anyway, I will just skim through the field then, quickly, so sorry about that. Something I completely forgot again. So, we got plenty of cars in this race. Plenty of big names as well. Whoa, and we got already one car into the wall. Exactly the same point as where Imran Rakota or Manana crashed yesterday. It's this time the number 2 car of Zach Winkle who went into the wall. And he's not alone because also Denise Steinauer is stuck in that wall. And Son, of course, the one of Julius Anderson and the number 89 car of Skylar Fleming all got held up. Skylar Fleming, of course, being the winner of the Nürburgring race a few weeks ago, and well, it's game over, I'm afraid, for at least the 2 car. The 77 car may be lucky that she can continue, because I don't think there's too much damage on her car, but replays will come after this lap. So we're going to do it like this again, like we did in the previous race as well. We're going to run one lap, then we're going to pause the race for a short moment, take a look at the replays of everything that's happened, and after that we'll move on. And if something happens, instant replays, it will be. So, a great start it was from the 09 car of Aiden Thomas, but Joshua Ciccone, number 31 car, is right behind him. Another one of those incredibly heartbroken drivers following the Nürburgring Nordschleife race, was running in 2nd position with 1 to go. The leader crashed out, so he would have been the potential winner if it wasn't for him crashing out on the same exact point. Such a heartbreaker for Joshua Ciccone, who has been having a great streak of races over the past few weeks / months, but unfortunately, well, the streak came to a big heartbreaker that race. And John Arndt has fallen back now to 3rd position with a 4th 07 car of Joshua Michaels and Zachary Fitzwater in 5th. Then we got the 48 of Zachary Robinson, who's really on a roll currently in the Martini Endurance Series. Debbie Myers in 7th and 8th. We got the 60 of Henrietta Fitzwater. So both Fitzwaters in the top 10. And oh, somebody may have brushed the wall again. I think the 06 car of Diego Martinez went a little bit wide, but I think he's fine. So it's good news for him. I don't know. Daniel Bouchard went a little bit wide there as well, and that's going to cost him a position. And Marcus Sacchi, the wildcard driver, is going to go take that position. And so far it has been going great for him. Of course, knocking on wood, don't want to celebrate too early, but I think he's in the top 10 and pretty good solidly as well. Now, of course, this is the moment where we have to switch cameras. If you haven't watched yesterday's I keep on saying yesterday's race, but of course I know it's been uploaded only a few hours before this one, so but I did it yesterday, that's why. But if you've seen race number 1, you know that there are some trouble spots on this racetrack, and you know that halfway through this track we have to switch cameras. Camera 1 isn't working at this moment, and camera 2 will have the same exact position on the first half of this track. So we got a few more cars on pit road, and it's William Brock in the 80 car and Sebastian Thorsen in the 17, who are all on pit road together with Zach Winkle and Denise Steinauer. So unfortunately a few more cars have gone off. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th is now Mark Sochi indeed, and 10th position is 21 car of Daniel Bouchard. Who I thought had a good race going at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, unfortunately crashed out as well. So then we got Diego Martinez, Jacques Robinson, Henry Williams, who hasn't been able to finish a race all season long. Gotta come back on that. He finished at 8th. Oh no! I wasn't looking for a moment, and the 98 car of Daniel... Oh, sorry, I may have jinxed Henry Williams. Sorry about that, man. But Henry Williams will be the next driver to be out. Good grief, yeah, it's a mean track, I know. Pretty much if you've seen race number 1, you know that this is a crazy mean track. I mean, in the motorcycle world, the Isle of Man TT is world famous. And not necessarily because they are such good racing, but mostly because it's such a dangerous racetrack that every year there are around 2 drivers approximately who pass away on this track. So it's a mean track, we know that. We have already seen some really big accidents yesterday, and also Diego Martinez in 06 car slow. How many cars do we have on pit road? Oh no, Marcus Sochi has also crashed out. I think we have like 6 cars on pit lane already. So 6 cars on pit lane already. That's pretty nuts. And after this, of course, after this lap, we're going to take a look at the replays. Man, 6 cars already out. It's pretty much, we're going to have probably a repeat of yesterday's race. So it's all about survival over at the Isle of Man. And that's so much easier said than done. I mean, like, you think like it's a very narrow racetrack. If you see this is like the most wide part on the track. Now, we didn't see any crashes on this part of the track, so we're going to do an onboard lap as well later, as we did in race number 1 as well. So don't worry about it. We'll get that going on as well sometime later in the race. Do we have another driver? No. So still 6 cars on pit lane, and still this 09 car of Aiden Thomas as your leader, right in front of Joshua Ciccone. I mean, like, the 2 most recently painted cars, I always see them sort of like as together, because I painted these cars just a few weeks ago, right before the season started, and they have, well, they're pretty cool cars, but they are now currently running in 1st and 2nd, so I don't want to jinx them, so that's why I'm knocking on wood, because I'm not sure about the 09 car of Aiden Thomas, but he has been running great. Yeah, both races I think he was doing pretty well, both previous races, but he crashed out. So a lot of action over here, a lot of battling, and Joshua Michaels will have to defend hard to actually no, Joshua Michaels has just gone by the 20 car of John Arndt, so passing is possible on this racetrack. They just proved it. So here we got some more cars which are filing heavily. 71 car we see over here with Cody Smart right in front of Skylar Fleming, Sonic Course, and the 1 car of Julius Hansen. Those last 3 of course were held up early on, but you can see they're not even too far behind. So their race is definitely not lost at all, because once again it's about survival, and if you just keep it on track you're probably going to get a top 10 anyway. So 6 cars on pit lane already after 1 lap, and that's what I meant with the cameras. So the 09 car is currently your leader, Aiden Thomas, and are we going to see some cars on pit lane? Well, probably, maybe some cars are going to be on pit lane. But we're not really going to wait for that for now, because it's still very early, so we will see the regular pit stop. But for now, we're going to take a quick look at what happened over here on lap number 1 at the Isle of Man. Already 6 cars crashed out, some of them probably in big style. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at those replays. We'll be right back as well with live racing after that. And so we are back again here at the Island to take a look at what happened over on lap number 1. Already 6 cars out the race. Zach Winkle was the first victim, and pretty much the same thing happened to him as what happened to the 33 car of Imran Rakoto Manana. Let's take a look at what happened. He just ran a little bit too wide, and there is some bush over there, and he just clips that bush and around he goes. Skylar Fleming right behind him, pretty much nowhere to go. The 17 car of Sebastian Torres also gets some damage in that. And the 71 car over there of Cody Smart as well. Now for some reason Denise Steinauer, look at that blue orange car in the background, the Golf car, gets sideways, gets stopped and just runs into the bush. And I think her problem is that she just couldn't back out of it. And that's why she's on pit lane, but I don't think there's any damage on her car. So, Fleming also ran into that wall over there. So, I think that's the problem with the 77 car. So, just, I don't know. I guess that she will soon be able to continue. But Zach Winkle for sure is out of this race. And some big damage to Sebastian Torres and especially Cody Smart as well. So, that's a big shame for them. Now let's take a look at somebody else who has crashed out, since I think actually Sebastian Torres was another one of those drivers. Let's take a look at this. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we got the next, oh yeah. And you pretty much, as you can see it, it's a big one over here. The same thing as what happened yesterday with the 9 car of Annie Thomas and the 18 car of Hilary Sanchez. It was William Brock in the number 80 car. This is a very tricky point. He just loses control of his car and it goes sideways. He will run into that wall and Sebastian Torres will follow him. Then he runs into it again. He just gets stuck and lifts up and he goes up on his roof. Sebastian Torres will follow and we got 2 flips added to the flip counter. Yesterday I think we had like 5 flips, or in race 1 I should say. 5 flips or something in race 1. Well, 2 have been added already to the flip counter. We currently have 19 flips this season, so it's a lot. So William Brock a little bit too well through the S's. It's a difficult point. I know that if you haven't watched race number 1, I've crashed there at that point many single times when I raced myself on this track. And simply because it's such a tricky point. You really have to nail that turn, those S's. Otherwise you're just going to go into the fence, and when you crash hard. And pretty much that's also what William Brock and Sebastian Torres found out. Now look at that. Oh, actually, hang on, stop. Did he brush that wall on the inside? Did he brush that wall on the inside? No. No, I think he did get a little bit too close to it, then lost control and whoops. And that turn, initially it looks like you might be able to go there full speed, but yeah, you can't, really, you really can't, and you really shouldn't. Now let's take a look. Do we have more cars on pit lane already? No. But we know that the 98 car is going to be the next one, Henry Williams. Now what happened to him? We saw it, at least you saw it live. I wasn't paying attention because I was just looking at the standings and the results of Henry Williams. And at that point he crashes out. So he's on the outside over of Jacques Ronson. He just loses control. And this is actually a new spot. We have not seen a crash over at this point. I don't even know where on track it is, but at least it's the second part of the track. And unfortunately Henry Williams is out. And that's a tough break for him. He was doing pretty well. Now let's take a look at this not spectator cam. God damn it. Let's take another look at the helicopter cam, because the spectator cam is hidden behind the bushes. So yeah, he just got loose coming out of that turn. And that's, well, caused him to swerve into Jacques Ronson. Of course, Jacques Ronson couldn't do anything about that. And it's game over for the number 98 car of Henry Williams. And again, Henry Williams finishing 8th at Le Mans, finishing 30 seconds at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So also a bad result over here. Oh wow! Talking about timing, my goodness, Marcus Sacchi had a big one over here. Good grief, that was a huge crash for the Swede. I mean, like, that's not really a warm welcome to him for it in this series. Well, he just gets loose, so I guess he did himself. Then he runs into those bushes and he also gets stuck, I think. And Diego Martinez right behind him. Yeah, he got stuck indeed. Nowhere to go for Martinez. Runs straight into the back of him. And Marcus Sacchi also goes flipping and flying through the air. And that's flip number 20 of the season in just 4 races. Yep, that's an average of 5 flips already each race. 5 flips already each race. How many flips did we have at Le Mans? 5. I guess. No, 4. We had 4 flips at Le Mans. We had like a zillion flips at the Nordschleife. Yeah, I think we had. I don't know. Maybe we had not as many flips yesterday as I had thought, but at least this was one, and it's a big one for Marcus Sacchi. Well, that's a real big shame for him. Oh wow, that's a hard one as well. Chris Dodd yesterday also had a very hard crash into one of those like vertical or bushes placed vertical to the track, and pretty much Marcus Sacchi also hit one of those bushes. Unfortunately, he did it himself, gets loose a little bit, runs into the bushes, and ouch. He hoped that he's alright. Well, his teammate Jay Jefferson also crashed out yesterday, so it's not gonna be a good week over here for Jay Jefferson's racing team. And that's 6 cars on pit lane, and I think we have covered all the crashes we've seen on lap number 1. So that means we're going to go live again. And something I may have not told you that, I don't know. I think I've told you everything. I don't know, the points, that's what I want to say. It's like the winner of this race gets 47 points, pretty much like yesterday's race, or like race 1. Second place gets 41 points, third place gets 39 points, and so on and so forth. So instead of a 1 point difference per position, it's a 2 point difference per position. So yeah, that means that every position counts for twice as many points more than than normally. So passing over is difficult, but yeah, we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on board once again over here with the Isle of Man race number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again here at the Isle of Man, live again with the continuation of the Dascar Martini Endurance Series season number 4 race, number 4 officially, event number 3 it is. And we got this number 09 car of Aidan Thomas in the lead. It is his home country, the Isle of Man in Great Britain. Well, I honestly don't know if it's like part of Wales or if it's part of England or part of, I don't know. But at least it's in the UK, or yeah, it's part of the UK. That's, I'm pretty sure. So, and Aidan Thomas in the 09 car, same story. So, we'll be very much hoping to get a victory over here. And we know that passing over is pretty difficult. And even though Joshua Ciccoli is very fast in the 31 car, getting to him is already pretty difficult. But then making the pass is nearly impossible. You haven't seen that many passes yesterday. We're in race number 1 either. So, third position is Joshua Michaels in the 07 car, who has gone by John Arndt, who is now in 4th. Debbie Myers is currently in 5th position, and 6th we got the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. We got Henrietta Fitzwater then in 7th position, so the 2 Fitzwaters now in 6th and 7th. And in 8th position we got Zachary Robinson in the 48th car. Daniel Bouchard currently in 9th, and in 10th it's the number 94 car of Jacques Robinson. Now we got the rest of the field, who is already pretty far behind, well, a little bit further behind, and who have already had some issues. Cody Smart right in front of Skylar Fleming, who's going to make the pass over for 11th, because the 71 car is damaged a little bit. Oh, and there goes Cody Smart for a big crash. Cody Smart goes around and over, and a big one for the number 71 Starbucks Mercedes, and we saw it happen live. And what happened over here is just 2 cars through those fast S's. We also haven't seen any crashes in this part of the track yesterday or in race number 1. So what happened over here? Instant replays, remember. Contact between the one of Julius Anderson and the 71 car of Cody Smart. I think Cody Smart just got loose. And then he goes around, goes up on those bushes. Then he hits those bushes once again. And Cody Smart goes for a big ride in the number 71 car. And that's like going to be the third DNF for Cody Smart. So the season for him has not been very successful. Now, of course, we haven't really had that many cars finishing. But his best results currently this season is 26th position. The other one was 28th. So it's not going to be much better in this race. My goodness, big one for the 71 car. Yeah, just 2 cars getting together. I don't think Julius Anderson is really to blame for this. But a big one for Cody Smart. And a lot of damage to his car. His race is over for sure. And do we have more cars on pit lane? Yes, we do. And Daniel Bouchard is the next. Together with Henrietta Fitzwater. And that must be related to each other. I'm sure of that. Let's take a look at what happened to them. This might even have happened before this. I don't know. Wait, who was involved in the crash? Yeah. Okay, so this is a spot where we've seen crashes happen yesterday. Henrietta Fitzwater just gets loose over here, goes into the fence, and oh no, that's a big one. There comes Daniel Bouchard, nowhere to go, straight into the back of the 60 car, and Jacques Ronson does everything he can to miss this, and he does it successfully, so that's a great job by him. Unfortunately, Henrietta Fitzwater, yeah, we've seen a few crashes yesterday here in this spot as well. It's just a spot you don't really, your car gets very loose easily, and that's with these twisty turns the case in many of these, many parts of this racetrack. It's easy to make a mistake, and if you pretty much miss one corner, Debbie Myers is the next one to crash out. But if you miss one corner, you're going to miss the next one a whole lot more, and you're going in the fence. Debbie Myers, the next one to have a crash. Is that the same part? Yes, it is at the same part. And then she took out the number 59 car of Zachary Fitzwater. So this crash is going to be even more wreckfest as the race number 1, I guess. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater. Oh boy. Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, and the 48 car just goes by. But Zachary Fitzwater continues. Now, that's pretty much exactly the same point. And the same moment as well as that Henrietta Fitzwater crashed. So, together with Daniel Bouchard. Now, more cars on pit lane? I don't think so. How many cars do we have on pit lane now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars on pit lane already. And 4 of them crashed. 10 cars on pit lane already. After 2 laps, we have already lost half the field. Yeah, this race is a lot more crazy than yesterday's race. Yesterday's race was already pretty wreckfesty. But I think today's race is even worse. And yeah, that's the thing with this racetrack. If you didn't watch race number 1, I already said it there. I tested this racetrack a couple of times, and every single time it was like the first race is okay. I mean, we had like races where 10 cars finished, and that's pretty good for this type of racetrack. Then the next race we only had 4 cars finished. So this racetrack is just so unpredictable. You can have races in which like 10 or 8 cars finish, and there are races. The worst I've seen is that there was one race in which only 2 cars finished. So that's pretty ridiculous. I adjusted that, and I kept on adjusting until I got like 3 A-OK races. And yeah, again, it seems like we got already lost a lot of drivers after just 2 laps. So that's something I'm not really fond of, and I try to take out of this race, but unfortunately, yeah, it's out of my hands, and Joshua Michaels just ran into the wall. So I apologize for that. I hope that we at least can get like 5 to 6 cars or something on the finish, but yeah, it's gonna be difficult. But one thing I know for sure, I hope it's still going to be a good race after all. So I hope you're going to like this one, and yeah, if it proves to be eventually a pretty good race and you guys like this track a lot, let me know in the comments, by the way, below. Then I will be able to, I will try to get this race back again in next season of the Martini Endurance Series as well. Now, also something I should say, if you want to have, of course we saw Marcus Sacchi in the number 70 car, he will not be returning this season anymore, because of course that's a wildcard car for. If you want to have a driver in that wildcard car, you can please comment down below saying you want to have whatever driver name in that wildcard car for next race. So it's only gonna be for the Kyalami race, which is up next. 3-hour race that is once again. So comment down below. It is first come first serve, and also the race 1 is there as well. So probably already a little bit too late, but yeah, if you want, I would say like, well, it doesn't really matter too much, but so pretty much there's only one spot available, and with these 2 races which going combined, but still I think we'll be fine. Usually, or so far, the wildcard car hasn't been that popular. There's only one driver this season which has picked a wildcard car, and I think 2 drivers in the Valvoline Dirt Ring series. So, but if you want to have a driver in, you can. Doesn't matter if you have no drivers in the series, if you have 1 driver in the series, if you have 2 drivers in the series, it doesn't matter. You can, all you guys can sign up a driver for the wildcard car, except for Jay Jefferson for now. Maybe if nobody picks the wildcard car, it will be possible for him to sign up another driver if he wants to for the last race of the season at Willow Springs. But for now, Jay Jefferson is the only person who cannot sign up a driver for the wildcard car. So I think it's time to go through the field quickly over here to see first off who's still in the race, and secondly who's where. So the top 2 has been pretty much the same all race long. We got the 09 over here of Aiden Thomas, home boy, and the 31 of Joshua Ciccoli in 2nd position. 3rd place is John Artnow in the 20 car, of course, after Joshua Michaels has fallen back a little bit. So Joshua Michaels currently in 4th now, still at least he's in the race. So 5th position is the 48 car of Jacques Robinson, and Zachary Robinson. I want to stay with him for a short moment because his results this season have been astonishing. He is 2nd in points. At Le Mans he finished in 2nd position. At the Nordschleife he finished in 4th position. So both races this season so far he has finished in the top 5. If he can stay on track, knocking on wood, and he manages to finish in the top 5, that will be his 3rd top 5 in a row. I'm sure he will be taking over the points league because he's only 3 points behind Jay Jefferson, and Jay Jefferson didn't finish yesterday well, and he didn't finish either because he finished in 18th position. So real big opportunity for Zachary Robinson if he can just bring it home. At least one thing is for sure, because he's now on track and there's only 10 cars left so far, or up till now, he will not be able to finish worse than the 54 car. So he will at least go by Zachary or Jay Jefferson. However, of course, there are a few drivers yesterday who did pretty well, like Aiden Shepard, who finished in 5th, and James Saunders, who finished in 4th. So he still will have to finish somewhere in the top 5, well, let's say top 10, and top 7 or 8 to be able to take over the points lead. So, well, of course, everything is possible, and so far Zach has been doing a fantastic job in the series in his return. So this is one of those tricky spots here, where we've seen a few cars crash out yesterday. One of the biggest trouble spots. Now another one is pretty much where we've seen already 3 cars crash out today as well. 6th position is Skyler Fleming. Who would have thought that after lap number 1, getting held up crashing into the, who was it, the 2 car of Zach Winkle who spun around. But he's in 6th. Pretty good. 7th position, the number 1 car of Julius Anderson, also pretty impressive. So great job so far he's doing. Didn't have a good result at both races so far this season. So it's on the course, 51 car currently in 8th position. So also looking good. And I'm pretty sure she's already happy too if she can manage to finish in the top 10, because, well, pretty much same story for Julius Anderson, by the way. Their season has not been too good. Well, she's 24th in points, so that's not even too bad. But she finished 11th at Le Mans, and she finished 33rd at Nürburgring. So, where we got the 59 car of Zachary Romson's Zachary Fitzwater. Man, there's so many Zacharys in here. Zachary Fitzwater finishing in, or is currently in 9th position. So, pretty sure he will be, well, hoping for a little bit more than that as well. He's currently averaging point 18th, so not too bad, but still. And do we have only 19 cars in the race? 9 cars in the race? Do we have only 9 cars in the race? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I screwed up. So there you have 10 cars in the race. And still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars on pit lane. Why Denise Steinhauer is still on pit lane after not even crashing out, I still have no clue. So next up, we're gonna go on board. Next lap, we're gonna do that when these guys bring it home. They're in the last part of this racetrack. In my brain, I've divided this racetrack already in a few parts, which are sort of like, yeah, it's a pretty diverse racetrack, but at some point you just have some parts which are pretty similar. So I'm going to wait with the onboard for a moment, because now he runs on front straight away. So onboard with Joshua Ciccone, yeah, we were going to do, okay. So let's go onboard with Joshua Ciccone in number 31 car, trying to hunt down Aiden Thomas as we go through this village. This is one of the crazy parts where you're just running through that village with like 160, 170 miles per hour, and the hard braking it is into the first hairpin. And that's a very difficult part if you don't know the turn you're going to go crash really hard. So also a pretty difficult part here. I've crashed here like 20 times when I raced myself in on this track, simply because I keep on underestimating the grip or overestimating the grip that this car had in that turn. So also it's a pretty difficult racetrack. Try it yourself if you want to. I may try to do some laps racing here as well, and also upload it on YouTube as well at some point. So through the foresty part into another village, and then into the foresty part again. This is still part of, I would say, well, for my brain I sort of see this as like part number 2. The first few parts are pretty small, and the later parts are pretty big. So through the forest, and this is pretty difficult access as well. But you really have to be on your toes, because it's like a left and right, and we got another left. This is all a pretty difficult turn. Watch out for the wall on the outside. We got another right, and then we got another right, very, very fast, and we got another right in over here, pretty sharp. And we got some more lefts and rights and lefts and rights, and this goes pretty fast over here. Are we already in the foresty part? Oh, we're already in the foresty part, so this is part number 3 in my brain. This is where you go through the mountains, right in between the 2 mountains over here. And there's a house here and there. It's like a real SS, and it goes left, right, left, right, left, left now. Right, left, hard braking. I always do it in first gear, but these guys do it in second. And another fast turn or slow turn over here. And now we go into a fast section, which I see is part number 4, I think it is. The part where Cody Smart crashed, and this is one of those open country lanes which we will see sometime later in the race as well, in much bigger parts. So then we go into the forest again, which is part number 5 for me. This is one of the biggest trouble spots. Look out, Josh Ciccone. And there's like a real sharp right left in a few moments. This is crazy. 158 miles per hour through there. That's absolutely nuts. You can try it full speed, but you're not going to survive that. So I love this part, but it's very difficult. And then heartbreaking to get into a village again. What is this? Be part number 6? I don't know. I still see. Yeah, this will be part number 6, where we just have like those other villages ish, and then we have. At this point, we have like those villages and sometimes bush and sometimes countryside. So it's very much changing. And I usually, it's like when I survive the first few trouble spots, I feel like good when I made it to here, but then at that point I crash every single time. Because it's such a goddamn sharp turn and you never see it coming. And you really never see it coming, so I've crashed there like 30 times already. So that's very difficult. Now we go on to the next part. For me this is like part number 7, because it's right after that crazy turn, and if I make it to here, which I haven't done a whole lot of times, I'm satisfied already. Yeah, I will do some onboard. Oh, and then usually I just crash out over here, because suddenly there's another sharp turn over here as well. I really want to do like race at this track again, so I'm pretty sure. I think I'm going to do some of those as one of the first gameplay parts as well. Not just with others, but just time trial. I don't know. Yeah, this is still for me part number 7, because I don't know this part really well, because usually by the time I reach this part I have already crashed out. But this next part is where that is where the number 70 of Marcus Sochi crashed. Still crazy, I recognize it. This is a pretty sharp turn through the supermarket. I have like a supermarket vibe with that. This is also a difficult part. The next trouble spot we have over here, and that's especially that turn and this turn, because drives always tend to crash over here. We go mountain climbing. This is part number 8 in my brains, where we just go up the mountains, and it's a pretty short part because the difference is that there is now a lot of bush, but soon we will get onto the open countryside and the country lanes, country roads. Take me home. But it's not like the American country road, but of course it's like the British country road, which is very typical for Great Britain. And the times I've been to Great Britain, we've always seen these kind of country lanes. And so this is part number 9, by the way. In my opinion, this is one of my favorite parts, even though I usually don't make it this far, but simply because it's so beautiful, and I don't know, I really like this part and this track nonetheless anyways. You go over on the mountains, the British mountains, and it's still pretty difficult, because the thing is, it's very open, so you can already see what's coming up. So you got left, right. There's another slow right over here. Will be right left here. There you see the car right in front of you. And there's another right and another left. And braking for here is also pretty crucial, otherwise you will go into the people, which is also not good. And I think there was a pretty... I keep on mixing this track also up sometimes with Dundron. I thought there was like a real sharp turn over here. Oh, there is. No, it's not. But that was really like Dundron. There's like a 180-degree turn out of nowhere after a very fast part. So still part 9, yes indeed it is. Still those open country lanes. This is like a very long part actually, and it will end very soon in part number 10, which is also the last part, which is like a few houses over there, and then you are already getting a feeling like, okay, we're getting to the end of this lap. And that's pretty much what starts right at the next turn, right now. Yes. So this is where part number 10 sort of like starting, of course. Here you see the brick wall once again, and you see the trees coming up again, and soon you will see some houses coming up again, and there's some very sharp turns over here, and more houses, more trees, and you're in one of those villages again. And pretty much, I think this is the same village as where the start finish line is, which will come up right now. Yes, indeed. So there's pit lane, and we got some leaders coming on pit lane. Did we have the same thing happen yesterday? I thought we had the same thing happen yesterday. Oh, no, almost. We had like, I don't know. Oh no, yesterday we went on board with somebody and then the person crashed out. That was it. So we're on board currently with second place, Joshua Scully, while both leaders are on pit lane. And I think third place coming on pit lane as well. Oh, that was a very fast stop for both leaders. So we're gonna go to pit lane number 1 and see who else is on pit lane. So we see the first two have gone. Then we got Jacques Robinson on pit lane, Skylar Fleming as well, John Arndt, Zachary Robinson, Joshua Michaels on the course, Julius Anderson. And of course, the main thing is not all these drivers are still in the race. I mean, it could be actually they're not in pit lane anyways. Oh, anyway, okay, never mind. Thank you. Did we have any crashes? No. Awesome, we didn't have any crashes. This is a very interesting battle though. The two Robinsons going after each other. We'll turn the volume up a little bit again. Jacques Robinson versus Zachary Robinson. Andrew Robinson, of course, was the third driver in this team. But the problem is you don't really want to go side by side for this long, especially not with your team, because sooner or later one of the two is going to go in the fence. So Joshua Michaels, I'm not sure if somebody came on pit lane. I don't know actually. Well, Denise Steinhauer is running again. Finally, that 77 car is back on track again. So, well, we had to wait for a pretty long while before that would happen, but she's back again, so that's good news. Debbie Myers is back on track again. No, I did not expect that. I thought that she would be out of the race, but, well, then I guess we have still, what is it? 12 cars in the race. Hooray! We have still 12 cars in the race. That's good news. So anyway, the two leaders have both pitted this lap, and looking at the lap times, yeah, it's not too much of. I think the 31 cars lost a little bit of ground on the 09 of Aiden Thomas. So, but we've seen this happen yesterday as well. And then Joseph Nesto was at that point who was the leader. Sooner or later, he was just going to be overhauled by the person who's in second, but then the person who's in second crashed out, and you got some other drivers right behind there. Third and fourth eventually crashed out as well. And actually also Joseph Nesto himself crashed out eventually. So it was somebody who was very, very far behind who won the race. And that's why I'm already saying never ever count out this guy, Skylar Fleming, the winner of the Nordschleife race a few weeks ago. I think actually maybe a few months ago already. I think it's around a month ago. Somewhere around that, but never underestimate. No, it's a little bit later than that, but don't underestimate this guy, because Skylar Fleming is still able to win this race. I can assure you that. So of course, same story as well as Julius Anderson. So Joshua Michaels has pitted. He has fallen back a long way. Now I'm not sure if it's just because the rest didn't pit, or if it's that Josh Michaels had to repair damage and pitted for a long time, or for much longer than the rest of the field. So there's Zachary Fitzwater, and we got then two other cars which are pretty far behind. This Debbie Myers 2 laps down, and Denise Steiner is 3 laps down. So okay. So that still means that we got 12 cars in the race. I like that. I still have hope that we're gonna get more than 6 cars at the finish. Yesterday we had 7 cars, so if we were going to get 7 cars at the finish once again, I'll be happy with that. I'll be fine, and it's much better if we also get a good race. And of course, you never know what's going to happen, and for some reason though, most of the cars crashed out. I'm knocking on wood because I'm not hoping it will be the same case this race, but for some reason, most of the cars that crashed out eventually were up front, somewhere in the top 5. So, don't want to jinx any of these drivers, but they still will have to mind their P's and Q's and their toes. So you want to have, well, if you want to have a little bit more idea on what I'm going to do. I haven't really thought about a whole lot more, but also something which I'm not sure if I mentioned you yesterday is that I'm going to change the way I do the way I do the thumbnails, because I'm going to make them. That's tricky. Because I'm going to make them custom. I'm going to make those thumbnails myself from now on, just very easy, simple, with a background, series logo, named the race, that kind of stuff, Dascar logo maybe, but just to have more coherency in my videos and to have it give it a little bit better of an overview. And of course I'm going to do more things. If you, by the way, have any ideas or things you want me to do, also feel free to share it with me. I mean, like, I'm pretty open. I'm very open. For most of you guys who have known me now for a long but somewhat longer time, I'm pretty open for new ideas. Of course, I do have to get those ideas. I mean, like, the last few times I asked for feedback, I got like 0 feedback. So I still don't know, especially for the Philips Cup Series, if what I'm doing is right or not. Also, for the Philips Cup Series season number 10, I've been discussing things with John Ciudino and Jane Pinter as well, about the next year, the next Philips Cup Series season number 10 with support series. I'm not going to mention that for now. I'm not going to explain it for now. We're going to do some changes and stuff in the ways those we've formatted everything and we've organized everything. The reason I'm not telling you yet is because we haven't finalized it yet. It was just a few ideas we came up yesterday and a few or like a week ago in the vacation, when I was on vacation to Sicily. But there are going to be a couple of things. Now, you guys always, at the beginning of the Philips Cup Series season number 9, I said I'm not sure if there's going to be a season number 10 of the Philips Cup Series. Now, I can pretty much say I'm pretty sure there's going to be. And that's probably to relief of you guys who really like the Philips Cup Series and my races. The only thing I'm not sure if it's going to be as long as a season as we've always done. Like this year we have 37 races, I'm not sure, or 36 races. I'm not sure we're going to do those really long season. And there will be more changes and more things I'm going to change organizationally near the end of the season. But there, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a season number 10. Partly because, of course, now I pretty much owe it to John Ciudino and Jane Pinter as well. Partly I owe it to you guys, but partly as well because I still enjoy doing it. And the reason I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, because with my internship I would be very busy now. The point is, whenever I'm finished with the season number 9 of the Philips Cup Series, I will be already either almost done with my internship or completely done. So if I'm going to do a season number 10, do expect it to start probably sometime later or early next year, pretty much like we've done with this year, the Philips Cup Series. I mean, like, I prefer starting it in January, February, maybe March, but I'm going to make it shorter a little bit. I'm thinking about changing some stuff. But I'm not sure, and if you want to give me feedback on that, you can do it now, of course. You can do it anyway, always, but I will be making some videos after season number 9 or near the end of the season where you can really give me some more feedback. So that will come sometime later. So Sunday course is on pit lane. Is this planned? I guess? I don't know. Just Michael's coming by again. Yeah, it's planned. Okay, good news. Fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Debbie Myers is going to be lap traffic. I think Debbie Myers, where is she currently? Back to this race for a short moment, but where is she now? She's in that tricky turn. Where's the 09? He's in the 4th part, I think. Okay, so the gap will still be between the two, will I think still be at least 1.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. So not going to be a concern right as of now. But lap times, I don't know what the lap time of Debbie Myers was, because she's of course when it came on pit lane. So Denise Steinauer is slowly but surely passing some guys that crashed out on lap number. Well, she's passed everybody who crashed out on lap number 1. Now she's going to pass guys that crashed out on lap number 2 as well. So, but anyways, continuing my story on, you will see what will change in the Philips Cup Series season number 10. And one thing I'm currently thinking, of course, apart from having some shorter schedule. Some tracks are going to be returning, some are going to be gone. The sprint race, main race idea, I thought initially was fun. I'm not sure what you guys think about it, but for some reason it's starting to lose its effect, and that's mainly because some of the sprint races are just too short to be good. Like when you, especially on the super speedways, I think we have already announced that we've decided that the super speedways are not going to have a sprint race anymore, just a main race. Maybe it's going to be happening for all the races, but on the other hand, the short tracks, it's for some reason it is cool to have like a sprint race and a main race. Well, I'm not sure about it anymore. What I am thinking about is like in the Monster Energy Cup Series we have like the stages. I personally like the stages a lot for the Monster Energy Cup Series, but for the Philips Cup Series it is sort of like impossible to do it in exactly the same way. But I have an idea on which it might be working, and that is like the thing I'm not sure about in the KLM series. James Pinter already put up a poll thinking like, should we have stages next year as well, yes or no. Most of the people said no. I'm not sure about the Philips Cup Series audience, but I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be somewhat similar, because I think the audience is overlapping quite a bit. But we're probably not going to do like stages where you run like 15 laps, pause, 15 laps, pause, 20 laps or something in the Philips Cup Series. But it might be possible that I'm going to decide to have like, okay, after this amount of laps we're going to hand out some points, after this amount of laps we're going to hand out some points. So just handing out points to the top 10, but not pausing the race after. So it's just going to be like the drivers that finish are going to get points. It's like the John C. Dino did it once with like bonus points when you led a lap. It's going to be the same deal with then bonus points, just if you are in the top 10 at a certain point in the race, but not like we're going to pause the races and throw caution. It's just like we keep on doing that, but then still hand out points to guys through during the race as well. Partly because I think it's pretty good, and I like the idea of drivers that still getting points even though they didn't finish the race, but they did like very well. For instance, Aiden Shepard, he's like a perfect sample, and this guy as well, Joshua Chicali. They led for a long time at the Nordschleife race. They did fantastic and were about to win the race, at least finished first, second, but then they crashed out. And of course Aiden Shepard, he still finished second, but this guy Joshua Chicali, he went from second to 10th. Now in the Philips Cup Series there are many more drivers that finish the race, so then he would pretty much, if the same thing would have happened, he would have gone from second to like 25th or something, and then not get a whole lot of points. So I think I like the idea of drivers getting also points, and also of course the one playoff point if you win a stage. I like that idea because it also gives credit to drivers that have been doing great throughout the race, but then in the later part of the race just crash out, either due to themselves or especially somebody else. So I'm thinking about it. Let me know if what you think of that, if you've heard it, anyways. And well, maybe I'm going to implement it. Maybe not. I don't know. Still, we got 11 cars in the race. Cool. Where's our leader? Goddamn. So well, that's one of the changes I might do. Some other thing is that probably I will be getting rid of the like the token system. If you are in Philips Cup Series, you know what I'm talking about. It's like drivers choosing strategy, picking 3 races where they can use a token in which they will be able to increase their driver rating, or and the same amount of races where they will have to decrease their driver rating. The token system, I liked it initially, but I think it's not really working as well. So, especially because not everybody uses it. There's only a few drivers left that like have a token system. Like there were only 20 drivers who picked a token, who participated in the token system, I think, and well, there are already a few of them which are not even in the series anymore. So sometimes we have races where only one driver has used a token, and sometimes even no driver. So it's like, it feels better to me if nobody has used a token, everybody is on a fair square level, than when somebody does have a token. So I am going to keep it in the current Philips Cup Series season. Otherwise, it would be like incredibly unfair to everybody who hasn't used their token or in the race they picked. So of course, I'm not going to do that. So the tokens will remain in season number 9, but probably they will be gotten rid of in season number 10. So other things I'm thinking about: Trackmania Server Fun Nights. John Cittadino, I really would like to have one of those Trackmania Server Fun Nights again. I'm pretty sure John is busy with other stuff as well, and I know that. And of course, he was always the guy that organized it. But I think I might be able now, with all the knowledge and resources, to be able to, I might be able to organize it myself as well. And if I can get those live streams to work, that would be absolutely awesome, because then we can do it live as well, and we can have even people who are in the comment section join as well. So, but for you guys to know, I'm really excited to do one of those Trackmania Server Fun Nights again. And we have discussed, somebody came up with that as well a few months ago. I think even maybe Jane Pinter. So yeah, I like it, and I think we should do it some points. So I'm going to skip, by the way, through the fields, just so you know where you're currently at. So not a whole lot has changed, except for that the 20 cars made a pit stop. So I have to sneeze. No, I have to sneeze. Jeez, sorry. So coming back on the Trackmania Server Fun, I think I liked it a lot back then. Of course, my biggest problem is time zones, because I live in the Netherlands. It's like 6 hours later than at John's place, and it's like 9 hours later than at James' place. So probably will be somewhere late at night when I do those Trackmania Server Fun, and then it will be like in the mid-afternoon for you guys, or for John and all the other Americans. But I really would like to do those Trackmania Server Fun Nights again. I mean, like, it was some of my best memories from my YouTube career are from the Trackmania Server Fun Nights. And like, the best moment was the NNSCRA versus Dascar in Trackmania Server Fun Nights. And if you were in there, I mean, like, there were a couple of guys in there, which of course are not in my series. John was there, I think Joseph was in there as well. Seth Cole was in there as well, of course, obviously. Dylan Young, and Charles Jackson. I mean, this is a moment. John, do you remember Charles Jackson? I already said it a few times, I think, in the past few. Oops. And the goddamn John Hart. Goddamn cameras. But I've already mentioned it a few times in the past months/years. It was one point where John crashed out, and he just was like, "Oh, booty." And then everybody was like continuing, nobody heard it at least until Charles Jackson a few seconds later said like, did anybody say booty? And it was especially the way that he said it. Everybody's just cracked up. It's really, really funny. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet. I think it's really worth watching it. Not only that moment, but just like the whole video ends. There are multiple videos where it was multiple videos about it uploaded. And it's NNSCRA, like the NNSCRA versus Dascar. Trackmania Surf Nice. I know John Cittadino has it uploaded, Seth Cole as well. I think Dylan Young as well. Maybe possible that James Silverfox was in there as well. I'm not sure. We've done it Trackmania Surf Fun Night with him as well. I know Nathan Hudson. We've done it once with him. My girlfriend actually was there as well at one point, but I don't think she raced it herself, but she has an account herself, so I don't think she's just able to do one of those Trackmania Surf. Maybe she will. Maybe we can arrange something where we just like with both of us. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking of more people which have joined. Of course, we got at one point Diego Ruiz, but didn't really end out very well. Especially, I think it was actually that day the Trackmania Surf Fun Nights NNCRA versus Dascar. Eventually, we had like a big fight because it didn't really work out, and Diego started to call us all names, and we got, well, pretty much it was everybody versus Diego, and eventually we all banned Diego. So it was a shame. He was really killing the Trackmania game though. He was like always top of the board. He's absolutely ruling it. So also ruling it, back to this race for a moment, because we haven't really, well, been part of this race, but I always like these long races because I can not only focus on the race, but I can also talk like to you guys while doing the race and discuss some things. But sometimes we should focus more on the race, I think. And we currently have a great battle going on between the 07 car, well, the 1 and the 07 car of Joshua Michaels and Julius Anderson. So very close together. This battle is currently for, oh, we got more battles. We got first, second, not changed. Third, also fourth. And then fifth, we got a great battle between the 87 car of Skylar Fleming and the 20 car of John Arndt. Two drivers which have been rock solid all season long, except for that one has a win and gets the result, and the other one not really. Southern course 6th, 7th, we got now the battle between the 07 of Joshua Michaels and Julius Anderson, who's then in 8th, of course. 9th we got, no, 10th we got the 50, I screwed up once again, sorry. 10th, of course, we got the 59 car of Zachary Fitzwater. 11th, I think still is this driver, Debbie Myers. Within 12th, Denise Steinauer, but of course they are both a few laps down, so yeah, it doesn't count. They're still way behind. I'm kind of curious about lap time. Okay, we're past the halfway mark of this race. Lap number 7 almost in the books now. Means we got 5 full laps to go, and that means we're going to also keep an eye out on the times, the lap times. Aiden Thomas ran a 41.1, which is very fast actually for this track. 7.5 minutes track. Yes, it's a long track, I know. Look at those roundabouts, like crazy roundabouts. But I'm actually thinking, are those real roundabouts? Because I think there are some real roundabouts in the track in real life, but not in this race, or in this track's version. So, but anyway, Joshua Tricoli lost a full second that lap on the 09 car. So yeah, he's falling back second pretty much every single lap. But I'm thinking that he's just taking it easy, just don't want to risk anything like he did last race. And yeah, the point is he's again in his second position, and yeah, I think he doesn't really. He wants to avoid what happened at the Nordschleife to him, where eventually the leader crashed out and he himself crashed out as well. So especially the second, that him crashing out, I don't think he really wants to have that happen again. So I think he's just backing off and minding his own P's and Q's, and well, minding his own race. and just bring it to the finish. Now we got Jacques Robinson with a 42.3, so he is faster than the Joshua Scully, but he is like 25 seconds behind, so not really a big threat to the 31 car currently. Then we got John Art now in the 20 car. He ran a 46.2, so he is somewhat slower than everybody in front of him, so don't think he's going to close the gap, and he's already like 53 seconds behind the leader, so don't think he's going to be a threat to everybody in front of him, except for if we get pit stops, which we still have to get. Now we got the 48 of Zachary Robinson currently in 5th position. He ran a 095, doesn't count, that's with a pit stop. But I'm pretty sure he would be able to gain time on the 20 car. What is the gap now, you ask me? Okay, let's count. At this point, like now. It's around 10 seconds, so Zachary Robinson has lost a few seconds. I think he has lost at least 1 second on the 20 car of John Arndt, so I'm not sure if he will be able to catch the 20 car. Then Skylar Fleming, he ran a 30.9 and Sonny Corver ran a 45.5. Now 45.5 is not really fast, but that is a real lap time. Skylar Fleming pitted, so he was somewhat slower. He was of course battling with, who was he battling? He was battling, I think, was he battling with one car? No, he was battling with 07, I don't know. He was battling with somebody. He was battling with the 20 car then, I guess. So yeah, he lost some ground. But he has made a pit stop. I'm not sure if he can make it to the end of the race, so we'll just have to wait and see how his lap times are currently. He crossed start finish line being 3 seconds in front of us on the course. I think it's a little bit less than that, so I'm not sure. But doesn't, yeah, it's tough to judge then. We got Julius Anderson running a 53.7. That's a legit lap time, but it's not a fast lap time, and that's probably because he already has some damage here and there due to the crashes early on in the race. So Joshua Mice ran a 58.1. Same story. I think we haven't really seen what happened to him, but I'm pretty sure at one point he just went off a little bit too wide, slammed into some either some walls or bushes and damaged his car, and yeah, well, action consequence, he is much slower than the rest of the guys in front of him, even slower than the number 1 car, so I'm guessing that he's not going to be a threat anymore. This guy then, yeah, 15.9, I think he's also not really up to speed, but he also made a pit stop, so I'm not sure how much of a threat he's going to be to the 07 car. We'll have to wait and see, I guess, later in the race. So needs time. Well, guess what? Being 3 laps down, she's not going to be a threat for anybody in top 10. She's just hoping for drivers to retire. At least she's still going, so I guess that she's just happy to finish this race. Lap times don't matter anyways as well. So Debbie Myers we got over in the country lanes, so yeah. Same story for her. So I don't think anything has happened in the time I went back. So we've been running around. So the first 2 laps were like killing. We saw every single person who crashed out in the first 2 laps. And then we had like 6 laps where nothing happened. So that's, well, somewhat good news, but it has made the race a little bit dull maybe for you guys. That's of course also a reason I try to make it more interesting with my talking. But I don't know how interesting I am to you. I mean, you can also watch some PewDiePie live streams. He's been playing Battlefield, Player Unknown Battlegrounds a lot, and live streaming it as well. So I'm not pretty sure that most of you guys are actually not really that die-hard PewDiePie fan. It's just, I don't know, I like this type of videos, and especially the Jacksepticeye videos as well, just random gameplay. And I honestly also, not to copycat them, but I do want to move more towards like a combination of both of them, I guess. but then not like with the real. I mean, like they're so big. I'm not going to be that big anyways. Not because I don't want to, but because I don't want to try, and I have many other things I want to. I'm currently busy as well, and yeah. I think the YouTube live is just not fitted to me, to be honest. Except for, of course, entertaining you with these type of races. And that's something I do want to do, entertain just not only myself, of course, because this is big entertainment for myself, and also the first person to say, if I don't like doing it anymore, I'm not going to do it anymore. And of course, I've been having some ups and downs lately, or not lately, but ever since like the past few years, where I'm thinking like, at one point I really enjoyed doing these races, and especially with the start of the summer series, and then some point I think like, well, I cannot find the motivation to do these races. Of course, I don't earn money with this. I have not opened up the income thing. I'm just doing it for my own entertainment, for your entertainment, and maybe to make a name for myself as well in this community. So I don't know. I like the NR 2003 community, and I'm surprised, and I'm also very happy that it's still going strong even after all of those years. I mean, like, the game is already 14 years old, remember that. 2003, 14 years ago, and still we're playing it with a couple of guys. And now, of course, Dascar is not alone, of course, you got the NNCRA as well. And you got, like, many other guys still doing it. However, I do feel that there are many people who have stepped down on doing these races, so yeah, there's not too many guys left anymore, so of course it will not go on forever. I'm pretty sure that in about a few years, everybody who has been, I mean, like, it's a community. There are people who were young when the game started to grow a lot, and this not necessarily in 2003, but also back in 2011, 2012. It was at that point where this community was really flourishing, I guess, and there was a lot of interest in the game, and those people, I don't think there are too many new people who have come ever since like 2015, 2014, 2015, like the regular guys who have been doing the like these championships. I think they all just slowly but surely, they sooner or later they will all just quit. And if there are new people doing these series, I'm not so sure. So I think that's probably what's going to happen in about a few years. Everybody who has been doing the series just moves on with their life. And of course, not only well, me included as well. But as soon as I'm pretty sure that when I get like a full-time job, I will not be able to do these races anymore. Not anyways nearly as often as now, but that will be in 2 years, because I still have to do 2 years of school. So maybe I will be probably will be able to do 1 more year, maybe 2 more years, and after I think I'm just going to put a stop to it. At least to doing it this frequently. Maybe I will say, like, in my free time I want to still upload videos and sometimes do one of like these races, and maybe shorter schedule, I don't know what. But work will be main concern, and of course girlfriend as well, and we'll have reached an age at that point where we are trying to say, like, when we're still together, if we're still together, like, okay, we want to, like, well, start move out together and get a house, and like get a full-time job for me and for her as well, and just move on with our own lives away from like the YouTube life, and still have other hobbies as well. So, but that's all future talk. I mean, like, we'll see what will happen. For now, I actually want to grow on YouTube, not necessarily with NR 2003, but also in other parts. So I'm not sure. I mean, like, I'm a dreamer, I guess. I always have big plans, and eventually most of those plans I never get to realize. So I'm still a plane spotter. I enjoy that a whole lot more than any other hobby I think I have ever had. I mean, the reason I have been in time constraints is also because of that. And I mean, like when I was doing race number 1 over here, I came back from doing the race and I realized that there was a plane at Schiphol International Airport which I really wanted to have, which I had never been there before, and I was so mad I actually didn't even realize it was still there at that point, and it was just like, god damn, I've missed it now. It was a A330 of Aeroflot, and that was because the afternoon flight was cancelled. They had to do 2 flights at once with a bigger aircraft. So it wasn't that at that point I didn't even realize that I still had a chance to take a picture of it. And then later on I realized, like, damn, I can still get it. I can still picture it. And I just went off pretty fast as soon as I can to Schiphol Airport, and I still got it. So that's cool. But also this night, I'm looking for an Al Mazria A320 from Egyptian Airlines. Beautiful plane. I still haven't. I've missed it already a few times. So yeah, that's why I really want to have it badly. So the only point is, they said that it was going to be somewhat sunny now. How late is it? It's like 7:30, and yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's still cloudy. I hate it. Damn it, weather. Dutch weather. We've had a terrible summer in the Netherlands. I'm not sure about you guys in the States, but like May and June have been beautiful. July maybe for the first 1 or 2 weeks, but ever since I've been on vacation and the weeks before that, it has been absolutely terrible. Temperatures not higher than 25 degrees at least, 20 degrees maybe not either. Cloudy, rainy, thunderstorms here and there sometimes. It has been a shit summer, absolutely shit summer. And yeah, especially for me it sucks because not necessarily because of the sun. I want to bathe in the sun, I want to have high temperatures and just feel like it's summer, but I want to take pictures of airplanes and go plane spotting. But when it's cloudy, I don't feel like it's worth it to go because the pictures are bad anyways. But I don't know, that's probably the main reason. So you want me to go back to this race? Okay. We got Aiden Thomas still in the lead and Joshua Ciccoli still in second. Now, one thing which is interesting is that Joshua Ciccoli, I think, has closed the gap a little bit. He gained 4 seconds previous lap on Aiden Thomas, and of course I have noticed it. But it's not like he's really close yet. I think he may have lost one of those seconds already, or maybe 2 of them even. Zachary Robinson is now in third because some other guys made a pit stop. Some other guys being the 94 car of Jacques Robinson. Yeah, he pitted, and the 20 car of John Arndt pitted as well. So they are now 4th and 5th. And in 6th we got Skyler Fleming now. 7th we got Sonny Kors. 8th we got Julius Anderson. 9th we got Joshua Michaels, who's really fallen back a whole lot. And in 10th we got Zachary Fitzwater. Still 11th is Debbie Myers, and 12th is Denise Steinauer. So there's Denise Steinauer. No, Debbie Myers. And here we got our 2 leaders. Now, of course, what is the most interesting battle? What is the closest gap we have on track? I know, I think it may actually be between the 48 and the 94, but I think the 48 still has to pit. Pretty much everybody else I think is somewhat safe. At least the 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th are, so because they pitted the previous lap, so pretty sure they will be able to make it to the end now. When we cross start finish line, we still have 3 laps to go though, and that's a long time. They've already pitted now twice in 1 hour. I'm not sure if they will be. Maybe I'm pretty sure they will be able to make it, but I'm not 100% sure. So lap times again. The gap went from 2.3 seconds to 3.0 seconds. So actually, Joshua Ciccoli hasn't lost a whole lot in the previous lap. So he has gained 4 seconds with the pit stop. He has lost 7/10 of a second the lap after, but he's still there, I guess. And maybe he's just saving his stuff. saving his race car, thinking like, okay, I may want to win this race, but I will push till the end of the race. We're at the end of the race, and not now. Of course, has to look at not to have the gap increase by too much, because of course gaining on the guy in front of you is already pretty difficult in this track because it's so twisty and stuff. Making mistakes easy if you just try to push a little bit harder, and making a mistake on this track is going to be game over anyways. I mean, there's not been that many guys who have made a little mistake, went a little bit too wide, hit the wall, and then continued like there's no other problem. Even if you hit the wall softly, you still damage your car, that you're going to be a lot slower. And if you are really unlucky, which is most of the times actually, you just go off the next turn and you go flip over and crash into some sort of wall of either stone or bush or trees or whatever. So the 48 car, Zachary, holy crap, Zachary Robinson just gained 5 seconds over the guys in front of him. From a 45.2 and 45.9 to a 40.1. That's 6 seconds gains over the 31 car. Now if he continues to do that, he will still not be able to close the gap to the 31 car. And probably the reason he's running this fast is because he will come on pit lane soon, and his car is very light due to not having too much fuel, but still. Jacques Romson 44.1. He's faster than the top 2, but he's 36 seconds behind, so I don't think he's going to be a threat to the top 2 unless some of them, or they crash out for some reason. John Arndt 48.0, much slower than everybody in front of him, and still 25 seconds behind the guy in front of him, the Jacques Romson. So, but this will be interesting. Skylar Fleming just ran a 43.9. He's faster not only than the top 2 and pretty much everybody in the top 5 except for Zachary Robinson. But he's also, what is it? 4 seconds faster than the guy in front of him, and even more importantly, he's only 8 seconds behind. That will mean that before the end of the race, he will have closed the gap to John Arndt. I think the gap for now will be a little bit more than 4 seconds. I think it's still around 8 seconds or something. So, but yeah, might be closing. I'm pretty sure he's closing now on the 20 car. So on the course ran at 46.6. This is actually not even that bad. But she's just in no man's land. I mean, she is, what is it, 27 seconds behind 87. And she's almost a minute in front of the 07 of Joshua Michaels. So, who's running, by the way, 01.6 standard lap times, I think, actually. So, yeah, not going to be a good race for him. Julius Anderson, 35.4. I'm pretty sure he pitted just like, 55.8 for Zachary Fitzgerald. Also not too good, so. But yeah, still we got 12 cars in the race. What else do you want me to do? Do you want to have a helicopter shot lap? Shall we do that? Well, part of the helicopter. We'll just do it like this so you can see a little bit more of the countryside. We haven't done these, by the way, in race number 1, so apologies to everybody in race number 1. Just think, I think that this race is a little bit less interesting than that race simply because there's not as much happening, and that's why I think it would be fair to do this. The problem I have with this shot is, of course, okay, I do get it, this racetrack is so big, not only like a strip of the track is made, and besides that you just see like the green sky-ish, which is just random background and not too interesting. So the good thing is if you do it like this you don't see it, and that's why I think still it's pretty good. So I love this track. I really like this track, and I've been wanting to go to the Isle of Man before. Just the times I tested it, of course 21 cars is not really helpful, so you have to split the field in 2 if you want to have a race over here, or then 2 races of course. Making more pit stalls is pretty much impossible. Maybe it would be possible to have like the double pit stalls. Like you have one on the left side of the pit lane and one on the right side. But of course, I'm not a track moderator at all. I am not. You have to look at Joseph Nestor for that, not me. The only thing I changed is that I added 2 pit stalls simply by, like in the track any file, it's like code that's written. It says like stall number 1 and then a few numbers, and I just look for the pattern. I continue the pattern for 1 or 2 pit stalls, and that's it. So it's not too hard at all. But I'm not sure. Well, I may at one point say like, okay, I'm going to try to see if I can add some more pit stalls in there in the pit road. Making it even tighter is not an option. Absolutely not, because it's already very tight, the pit lane. Yesterday we've also saw an unsafe release again of Brendan Thomas, of course, still your winner, where he just took out. Who was it? I don't even know who it was. I think the 69 car or the 01. I don't know. I think it was the 01 car indeed of Tommy Turbo, which he took out on pit lane, just pushed it a little bit too far, unsafe release and all kind of stuff. So, no, I haven't looked at the penalties yet. I haven't edited the race yet, so we'll do it later. But Aiden Thomas, yeah, he is dominating this race. Easier said than done. It has not been a very interesting race, I know, and I'm pretty sure you guys will feel the same way. And I apologize for that. And I hope it will get more interesting sometime later, this race. I mean, like, I still hope for a battle between the 20 and the 87. Is this going to happen? I don't know. Also something which I thought of, if I'm going to do live streams, I may be painting some cars with you guys in the live stream and say like, okay, here we go, hello everyone, I'm going to paint a car today and I need your help. Look for or in the chat, you can tell me or answer my questions like, which sponsors do you want to be on the car, which colors do you want to be in the car, do you want it to be whatever. So maybe I'm going to do that as well if I can manage to get this live stream to work. Joshua Cicchelli again losing 7/10 of a second this lap, so he still keeps on losing on the 09. But yeah, 7/10 of a second losing, still not too bad. I don't think he will be able to like gain those 4 seconds back, unless the 09 car makes a mistake. So I think pretty much everybody will still feel like, well, it's good redemption if the 31 car of Joshua Cicchelli would win this race, especially after the terrible deal happening at the Nordschleife. I mean, there was one guy, I think it was Jay Jefferson, I think it was Jay Jefferson who really felt bad for Aiden Shepard and Joshua Cicchelli. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there were many more other drivers who felt the same way. I mean, like, it has not happened. I don't think we've seen like drivers crash out somewhere late in the race, but I don't think we've seen it that dramatically ever before. So, especially not. I mean, like, what the leader crashing out was one thing, but first and second crashing out, that's something. That's crazy. So, see ya. Yeah, this is going to be interesting battle. Well, lap times 46.0. Okay, 43.1. I mean, John Arndt is still. He has increased his pace the previous lap, and the gain that 87 of Skyler Fleming had on him is less, but he still gained 3 seconds on him, and the gap was 8 seconds the previous lap, and now it is 6 seconds. Oh, he will have to continue this trend, otherwise he will not be able to pass the 20 car, well, or the leaders, let alone drive towards him. So yeah, no man's land we got over here. We got another. Oh yeah, we got one car of Jordan Anderson, who is gaining again on the 07 car, so we might see some more pass, and we might see. I'm expecting 2 battles, at least 1 battle before the end of the race, maybe 2. I hope for 2, right? Of course, nothing against John Arndt, but I still hope that I think it would be good for the race. To say it differently, I think it would be good for the race if Skyler Fleming would catch the 20 car. Of course, I'm completely not, how do you call it, independent in who I want to do good and bad in these races. That's why I never would cheat anything, even if it was with my own drivers. I don't really care where they would end up. I mean, I still hope for Sonic Course to win a race somewhere, sometime, but I'm not going to change to hand the win to her. But yeah, that's for nobody else as well. So, but I just hope for exciting races. That's all I want for. I game for. Pretty much that's what you gotta do as an organizer. Just be able, or be sure to provide good races, because boring races are not going to attract attention. So, but of course, not like I wish bad things on John Art, and still like the dude. Same for Skylar Fleming. I don't think there are that many. There are many. Normally, I'm not even somebody who would hate people, but I don't think there are that many people I don't like anyways in the NR 2003 community at all. So there are like a few guys which I think, okay, preferably don't like you. Not going to call any names, of course, but I think most of you guys are just pretty cool people. How cool would it be if we would like get a Trackmania server fun nights with like 20 of these Dascar people? That would be absolutely incredible and crazy. You know, if we were going to do a Trackmania server fun nights, I might as well put it on the Dascar Facebook page, saying like, well, if you want to join, we are starting it and doing it at this time. I don't even know if you guys really know what Trackmania server fun nights is. Look at the Utica Rallycross series. That's the same game. So I think it would be a lot of fun to do it. Trackmania server fun nights with a couple of Dascar people and even some people we haven't really spoken to. I mean, like John and Shane and all those Dascar presidents I've already spoken to, and everybody we've had in the Trackmania server fun nights already as well. But having some new guys in there as well will be fun, I think. So let me know if you're interested in doing Trackmania server fun nights with, well, John, me, and maybe some others as well. What's my phone doing? Okay, anyways. So, how about this race? Hopefully we're going to have an exciting last lap. And otherwise it's going to be finishing up with a snoozer. I mean, these guys are so far behind. Actually, the one car is further behind the 07 car than I had expected. It was actually 16 seconds. Oh, I thought they were very close together. Oh, guess not. Oh, okay. Anyway, who we have over here? Oh, are we going to see lap traffic? Where's Debbie Myers now? There she is. Where's the 09 car now? That's the same corner. Oh boy. I think we might actually get some lap Debbie Myers is running pretty fast lap times though, so I'm not 100% sure about that, but it might be possible that before the end of this race, Aiden Thomas is going to run into the back of the... Oh no, actually the gap is much bigger than I thought, so I thought the gap was pretty small, but it's still, I think, around 45 seconds or something still, so yeah, that's not going to be a problem. So Aiden Thomas just has to survive the last lap, and as soon as I said that, I was thinking like, okay, he just has to do it, and then I think, oh damn it, Nordschleife. Surviving the last lap is not like easy, I guess. But on the other hand, I mean, like, he has been dominating this race all day long, and yeah, Joshua Chicali is just, I think he's just given up, and I think he's just going for the second place, for the podium, for the points, and where is he in points actually? Joshua Chicali, he's fourth in points anyway, so I think he's just gonna say, okay, I'd rather just win a championship. Winning a race doesn't really help me too much. The gap, I mean, look at the gap. It was 3.7 seconds. Now it's 4. He still loses 7/10 of a second. I mean, he has lost 7/10 of a second every single lap for 3 laps in a row now. That's pretty crazy. Are we going to see 12 cars at the finish? Oh, Zachary Robinson comes on pit lane. Okay, I had expected it, but still, that's a big shock now. Oh, it was just a splash of death, and here comes his teammates. Jacques Robinson is going to pass Zachary Robinson in the final lap. And it's going to be a very close battle between the two Robinsons. Look at this, it's the battle for the last podium position. Zachary Robinson just a few seconds, no, a few tenths of a second now ahead of the 94 of Jacques Robinson. That's a close battle. That's awesome. Now here's John Arndt. What is the gap to Skylar Fleming? It was 6 seconds? Oh no. Oh no, Skylar Fleming has to pit. Okay, well that's game over for Skylar Fleming, at least, as in he's not going to catch the. Here we go. Okay. So, no, yeah, finish your sentences, mine. Okay, so, Skylar Fleming, I don't think he's going to catch John Arndt. Jacques Robinson was very close on the rear bumper of the 48 car, but he is backed off now a little bit. Might it be team orders? I don't think so. Pretty sure they won't. It will not be. Even though Zachary Robinson is like second in points, Jacques Robinson is 16 points. Yeah, so both pretty much need the points. Both still have a shot at the championship. So, and there's John Arndt. How far is he behind? Pretty far behind. And there is Skylar Fleming. Yeah, the gap is now 16 seconds. So that's a pretty big gap. So yeah, I don't think Skylar Fleming is probably not going to catch the 20 car. That's a big shame, man. I was really hoping for that battle to be able to continue. How about these guys? The gap was 16 seconds between the 07 and the 1 car as well. I think it will be somewhere around that as of this lap as well. If the 07 car can continue, which he can, it's good news for him. Now let's see what the gap will be. 01, oh that's cool. Now let's see the 1 car. It was 16 seconds, eh? I think it's going to be a little bit less than that now. 15 seconds. Well, I took literally, pretty literally. What did I say? I took pretty much a little bit pretty literally. Thank you. That's what. So, 4/10 of a second eventually it was that Jordan Anderson gained on Joshua Mike. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to change a whole lot. Just like here, just like that. But the battle for the lead not really interesting anymore. The battle for third is not interesting anymore because Jacques Robinson has backed off now. The battle for fifth is not, no. So yeah. Overall, I love this racetrack. I just don't really like the amount of action because yesterday's race was cool. Yesterday's race was really good. Today's race was a little bit of a snore fest. So once again, I do apologize for all you guys. It's at this point where I just hope you either just skipped through this race and you don't waste your time on it, or you just continued doing what you were doing or just doing other things and well just kept listening to me and to my stories, which may be interesting to you guys. I don't know. Well, of course, we've seen crazy stuff in the late part of the race, and especially the last lap as well. You never know what's going to happen. Now, the 09 car survived that turn, and that's trouble spot, and Joshua Cicchelli did as well, and pretty much after this there are not going to be any troll spots. I haven't seen anybody crash in this part of the race, so pretty sure they will be safe now. Yeah, with the gap of pretty much 40 seconds over Zachary Robinson. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any differences when these guys manage to finish. So yeah. I see sunshine. Oh yeah. Damn it. Bring me that sunshine, man. Bring me that sunshine. I will have an hour or so before the Al-Masri A320 lands. I will have to hurry, maybe, even. So, I don't know. That's how much I care about airplanes. And taking pictures of them. I mean, like, I went to Cologne, Bonn Airport and Düsseldorf Airport. Actually, I may be making a video on that as well. I've taken some videos. So it's going to be like a very short video, but I think maybe interesting for you guys as well. Maybe I'm going to pick up making like airplane videos as well. The only reason I didn't is because I'm more of a photographer than of a recorder, so I make more pictures than videos when I go plane spotting, and I just don't like to make like a video where it's only 2 videos and then next time there's only 3 videos. And most of the videos I have are like, sometimes I have a day where I've made 1 or 2 videos and some other days I have made no videos. So maybe I'm just going to make a monthly compilation, saying like spotting videos from June, July, August, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe it would be fun, I don't know, we'll see. But this race is going to be a pretty easy race for Aiden Thomas. I mean, started on the pole, led for all the laps, and usually I thought that he would have gotten some more competition. But yeah, he didn't. Joshua Cicchelli was the only one who was able to stay close to him, and eventually also kept on losing time on the 09 car. So it's going to be a great window for Aiden Thomas, and that means the reserve spot for Philips Cup Series season number 10 as well. At least that's what I'm going to go for. And yeah, for 9 it doesn't really matter because he's in the series anyways. He has already commented, so he will be in the series till the end of the season. So it's great to have him in the series, and he's going to prove what a great race car driver he is. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out the last turn, it is going to be Aiden Thomas in the number 09 car who will win this race. Congratulations to the 09 in the Thompson Mazda. Great looking car, great victory for him. And Joshua Cicchelli coming in 2nd position also. Great job by him. At least he brought it home. So I think he will be satisfied with that. So next up will be Zachary Fitzwater, and that will be Zachary Robinson, sorry. And that will be a 3rd top 5 finish in 3 races. If this guy is going to win this championship, I will be flabbergasted, but he has a legit chance, and we got one of the strongest cars in the season over there and one of the biggest title contenders. Zachary Robinson, no victories yet this season, but he's got 3 top 5s. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Jacques Robinson finishing in 4th position, great job by him, also good in points for him. And then next up will be the number 20 car of John Arndt, and I think John Arndt will just be happy that he can finally finish a race. He hasn't finished the race all season long. He crashed out in the first one after being in the top 5 as well, and he crashed out in the second one as well. I don't know when actually, I don't know where he was, but John Arndt is going to finish in the top 5 over here. Great job by him, and definitely deserved top 5. And then we got next up the Skylar Fleming in ASM car. Look at the gap. That's not a big gap. That's absolutely not a big gap. It was 16 seconds. I think it's going to be around 14 seconds maybe. I don't know. It's still 15 seconds. So still a great race for Skylar Fleming, winner from previous race. He's still going to be strong. And Summer Course once again finishes the race. Good job by her actually, and I think she's going to do good in championship points. So good for her. And then next up will be the 07 car of Joshua Michaels, and that's going to be a long wait. Yeah, it's going to be a real long wait. And probably not as long as we had to wait on the 67 car. I mean, that will probably be a wait of 6 minutes. Ouch. That's what you get when you get these long racetracks, Robert, so it's my own fault. But I love these long tracks. I'd really like to have like, we have like shorter tracks, like Kyalami and Willow Springs. We have Le Mans, which is somewhere in between, like 4 minutes. And we have the two kings of the racetracks, the Isle of Man and the Nordschleife, both with almost, well, at least 7 minutes per lap. So I love it. I really like that, and I hope you guys do as well. It's like special these racetracks are. These long road course tracks, they have something special and historical. I love historical racetracks as well. So I mean, like, 4 tracks we go to are historical, and even though they still get races on them as well, they have that historical vibe. Just like the Isle of Man, and Joshua Michaels is going to be finishing over here in 8th position, so great job still nonetheless by him, even though he was in the top 5, and he would have been able to get a top 5 as well if he wasn't for some weird problem he had. And Julius Anderson, he came close to getting that 8th position from Joshua Michaels, but fortunately just came up short, and he's going to be finishing in 9th position, which is still good, so great job by him. And then who else we got? 10th position will be for Zachary Fitzwater. Oh, there's Denise Steinhauer. Okay. How fast is she? Well, she's faster than Zachary Fitzwater, that's one thing is for sure. I think Denise Steinhauer will just be pissed off that she wouldn't be able to continue after the incident with Zach Winkle, because otherwise she would have been able to probably finish somewhere around 7th or 8th position, because she was right behind the 87 and the 51 car, and of course Julius Anderson as well. So somewhere between 6th and 9th would have been possible for Denise Steiner. So it's gonna be hurting a little bit in points, but I don't think it will be too bad. So, but Zachary Fitzwater in the 59 car is going to round out your top 10, and I'm amazed that we can manage to get more than 10 cars at the finish over here. So that's good. That's one good thing about this race. But on the other hand, yeah, I don't know. And there we go. Finish for for 10th and 12th. Now all we have to wait for is Debbie Myers. Of course, what are we doing? Of course, I'm going to go to the official standings to make it official for now. Of course, not much is going to change. So Debbie Myers will be able to finish in 11th, and that was it. Now let's take a quick look at points before we will say goodbye to you for now. 09 car, Joshua Ciccoli. No, Joshua Ciccoli finished second. 09 car of Aiden Thomas. He was 30th in points, so he really needed that victory. That's a very welcome victory for him. So that's good news for him. And surprising fact, Brandon Thomas, who won won the race number 1, was right behind him in 31st and only 2 points behind him, so that's cool. Joshua Ciccoli in the 31 car was 4th in points. Will he take over the points lead? No, because he was still 11 points behind Zachary Robinson. So he's still going to gain 2 points, so he's going to gain still be 9 points behind Zachary Robinson. So pretty good. Jacques Robinson finishing in 4th position was 16 points. He's going to lose a little bit on Joshua Ciccoli, but I think he will be somewhere around 5th or 4th position in points as well. So I don't know, we'll see. At least we know that the points leaders in race number 1 didn't do very good. Jay Jefferson didn't finish, Priya McShane didn't finish. So who else we got? John Arndt in the number 20 car. Finally good finish for him. He was 26th in points, but he will climb up the ladder a little bit now. Skylar Fleming with a victory, 14th in points, and finishing in 6th will help him quite a lot. Same story for Sander Kors, who's 24th in points, so that's good news for her. And Joshua Michaels in the 07 car finishing 8th. In 16th in points he was, so that's also good for him. 9th, Julius Anderson in the number 1 car. And he really needed a good finish. He's 38th in points, somewhere really far behind. So I'm pretty sure he will be able to climb up the ladder a bit at least now. And 10th was Zachary Fitzwater in the number 59 car. And he was 18th in points, so pretty average and a pretty average finish as well. So he will probably stick around there, I guess. So we're just waiting for the 67 car to finish, and then we will wrap this race up. I hope at least race number 1 was good, race number 2 not as good. So I hope you enjoyed this race nonetheless, and race number 1 as well if you have seen it, and the stories I've been telling. And if you have any things you want to mention, please comment down below. Get those comments coming. I really like the video. So Demi Meyer is going to finish and be the last car to finish, and that will conclude this race. Yes, official standings now. So there you got your winner officially now. Aiden Thomas, your winner. And that was it for now. We're going to go to Kyalami next week, somewhere next week, I don't know when, for another 3-hour race. So first time we've been there was last season, season number 3, Martini Endurance Series, and it was a crazy race. Absolutely incredible. And Philips Cup Series race was also very great, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be a great race anyway. So really looking forward to that. I hope you guys are well. So stay tuned on my channel. Look for more interesting stuff coming as well in the next few days / weeks. And well, stay tuned for the other Dascar series as well. Valvoline Endurance Series and Philips Cup Series coming soon again. And probably also the Dascar KLM series on Jane Pinter's channel, and the Dascar Regional Pro Cup series on John C. Dino's channel. For now, I want to thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you next time with the Dascar Martini Endurance season number 4 2017 on Ziggo Sports.